The Hangar Z podcast welcomes pilot Mike Sill and pilot Johnny Reyes from the Fresno County Sheriff's Office.
I had a gal go off the top of a mountain called Bald Mountain in an ATV, and she was ejected. She went down about 150 feet, did a tow in. We were able to pull her out and get her to a medical helicopter. And there was nobody else available. H-40, no hoist, no nothing. It was, I probably made 20 approaches to this spot before I could get in there.
Really?
It was a downwind approach against a rock wall.
Oh, yeah. Just waiting for the conditions to change just a bit.
Just to burn that extra 16 ounces of fuel.
That's the great part about flying in the mountains with our helicopters. It's just like what works now, 5 minutes might not work, or what didn't work, 5 minutes later, it might work.
It's such a fluid environment.
Welcome to the Hangar Z podcast, brought to you by Vertical Helicasts and partnered with Vertical Valor magazine. We recorded this special episode from the floor of APSCON 2025 in Phoenix, Arizona at the Vertical Valor Hangar Z booth. Joining us today are Deputy Pilot Mike Sill and Deputy Pilot Johnny Reyes from the Fresno County Sheriff's Office Air Support Unit. Mike Sill is this year's recipient of the prestigious Robert L. Cormier Memorial Award, recognizing outstanding achievement in the advancement of aircraft in public service. A charter member of the Fresno County Air Support Unit, Mike recently retired after 25 years of flying, a career defined by dedication, skill, and humility. He often describes himself as blessed, lucky, and fortunate, but his success is a direct result of years of hard work and flying challenging, high-risk missions across some of California's most unforgiving terrain, from just 337 feet at the valley floor to 14,000-foot peaks in the Sierra Nevada. In this conversation, Mike and Johnny share incredible insights from their careers, discussing the power of mentorship, the value of developing personnel from within, and the importance of experienced pilots in shaping a new aviation unit, and the critical role of exceptional maintenance. They also recount some remarkable high-altitude, life-saving rescues that truly highlight the skill and heart behind this unit's work. The Hangar Z podcast subscriber numbers have been climbing rapidly, and we appreciate your support. If you have not yet subscribed on your favorite podcast platform and on the Vertical Helicast YouTube page, please take a second and do that. That small action makes a big difference for the podcast. Enjoy these episodes from APSCON 2025. Thank you to our sponsors, CNC Technologies, Metro Aviation, and Spectralab.
Welcome to the Hangar Z podcast, brought to you by Vertical Helicasts. The Hangar Z podcast is the first and only podcast dedicated to promoting and exploring the personnel and equipment behind the missions in public safety aviation.
Sill southbound, skidding to a stop. Stand by here. Looks like you're getting ready to bail. Heads up, guys, bailing. Okay, the guy, he's running through the house, jumping the fence, through the shotgun, through something out. Grabbing the shotgun. Don't go over that fence. Don't go over that fence. Grab the shotgun again. He is armed. Stay there. Hold your position.
It's time for your Heli Life giveaway buzzword. Listen up and remember this word because you'll need it to enter for a chance to win exclusive Heli Life gear. Ready? This episode's buzzword is safety. Visit contest.verticalhelicasts.com to enter the buzzword.
I heard somebody say something one time about helicopters, and they said something to the effect of helicopters, because of what they do, will save more lives than they'll ever take. We lose people to helicopter accidents and mishaps, but not in the same way that we save people. Look at what's happened in Texas, that one Coast Guard guy.
Yeah, that was amazing. I saw those numbers, I was like, holy cow.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah.
But kudos to you. That's an incredible story. Gives you goosebumps thinking about that kid, that family. The fact that kid now gets to go on and live a full life because of your actions, that's amazing.
Wow. Well deserved. And then you also was looking at your background. 2016, you had a life-saving medal.
Well, Mike and I got that one together.
Is that together?
Yeah. That was
let's hear about it.
Rescue.
We got both parties. Go ahead.
Well, we were actually, it was the end of the day. We just got through changing out.
It's a Monday.
Helicopters put away.
Everybody's there on Monday, like the whole crew, and we put everything away, and Mike, myself, and Ryan Walker, and we're just kind of BSing, and then the call comes out. another river rescue. So we look at each other, and Ryan was new to the unit. So we're like, he's like, I go, you flying? He's like, yeah. So I'm like, all right. So we run up, go put the PJs on, our flight suits, what we call them, our pajamas.
Yeah.
And run down. Ryan's pulling out the helicopter for us. And like as I'm like, okay. So we've had other rescues before. I was like, I'm putting on my harness now. Like I'm putting it on as I'm running out because like I feel like this is gonna have to be one of those bang bang like. And
so yeah, we jump in the helicopter and start moving north. And they give a general area of where this gal is. Actually, a girl. People on the bank screaming, RP heard, screaming for help and the whole 9 yards. So we hit the river and we start just flying it up, and we could see the people, starting to wave on this corner and big strainer in the water. And we got, I'm thinking, okay, first shot at this, we're going to do a toe in on the log. Johnny's going to reach down. He's already got his gear on. He's going to reach down, grab her, and, pull her up on the log. We get there. Only thing sticking above the water is her head. And we're like, oh, we're doing this. So I come down, and the tree, the stump's got these big arched. So main rotor's compromised, tail rotor's compromised. Ain't going to happen. And he's on the outside telling me no. And so I flip it around, try to do the other side, and ain't going to happen. I said, cinch collar. Boom. Hit the ground. We had that thing hooked up, got up in the air, deployed it down. So he's on the outside. I'm on the inside. And he's like, she's not putting it around her neck, or she's not putting it over her head or anything else. So I got on the PA. I'm like, put it around your head, Finally, she does. She's pinned underneath this log. He gets me he's on the outside telling me what's going on. We come up, get the line tight. We pull her upriver first out from underneath the strainer, and then up, slide it over to the bank, dump her off. Family's happy. We land. We're like, hell yeah. High-fiving, make sure she's cool. Roll our gear up. We're back home.
Back home. Like, we might make it for dinner.
Yeah. It was just that quick, man.
It was quick. So Mike had his GoPro on, and he started it as we're leaving the airport. And so we come back and we watch the video, of course. And from when he hit start to he hit stop, it was 12 minutes and 30 seconds. Yeah. From us leaving the airport, doing the rescue, and landing. 12 minutes and 30 seconds. And then that river is probably about 8 miles from where she was, because I know it's just outside the Charlie. Yeah. So it's about 8 miles.
We were pegging the top of Yellow.
Wow. Yeah. And it was just like bang, bang. Like, I think I watched that video. I hadn't seen it in years. But I was like, man, look at me move, man. I'm getting that gear. I'm like,
yeah. But it was just one of those things, man. It wasn't her day to die.
That's right.
But the sad thing is, her dad and mom are literally 20 feet away from her, watching her basically hold on. And she had told the story that she didn't put it over her head. She was afraid that she got that around her body, and we start pulling on her. It was going to rip her legs off.
Oh, that's what she thought.
Yeah, because she was pinned under it, and that's why he had me pull her upriver. He could tell that she was pinned underneath it. We could tell.
Yeah. So the only way we're getting out is like we got to go. I don't know if I said forward, back, Mike. He's like, we got to get her out of that underneath that tree. And he's like, all right. So
popped her out.
So cool, man.
Yeah, it worked out. It was not her day, so it worked out good. Right place, right time.
It's just crazy because like if we would have just left,
we wouldn't even have heard the call. Yeah, right. And she was in that water for probably 30, 40 minutes.
I think before they got a phone call out.
Yeah. So she was numb basically from the neck down.
Wow. Yeah. Those are the kind of things you have to think back in reverse of all the things that had to go right for you to still be at the hangar, for you to hear the call, for just everything that happened in that particular day and circumstance to align to make that happen. Really interesting. Yeah.
With the right experience.
Yeah.
But it's so funny because like we didn't even. So I'm a pilot. I had my own crew. He had his own crew. So like it was just like, dude, you fly, I'll TFO. Like let's just do it. Yeah. It's like we don't. It's like
it worked out good.
A-team back in action, huh?
Yeah.
That's what we used to call ourselves the A-team back when we were flying together. Just to piss the other guys off.
I mean, you gotta have that good rivalry with him. Sure. The B team's taking over.
Varsity's here.
You guys can go home and we'll take care of it.
Well, Mike, tell us about Fresno County and the Sheriff's Department. I mean, talk about not only I think it's really important for the people that are watching and listening to hear about the geography of Fresno County, which is unique. You touched on it earlier with the altitudes, but tell us about the geography and then follow it up with what the department is size-wise and that sort of thing.
Yeah, so Fresno County is a little over 6,000 square miles.
Wow.
And I say that, guys in San Bernardino right now are like,
yeah, exactly.
Like,
tiny county.
Yeah.
We're out there in
okay,
Fresno.
guys. 24,000 square miles. Yeah, but it's all rock out there. You know what I'm saying? So, and San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department actually helped us start our unit by letting us go down there, not to digress too much, but they let us as TFOs go down and ride with them in the back of their 500s at the time to show us what it was going to be like and give us some pointers, because there really wasn't a TFO class, I don't think, in 97 like there is nowadays. Yeah. So San Bernardino County, man, helped Fresno County Sheriff's Department.
Wow.
Just so everybody's got that one lined out. They sent the sheriff down there, said, hey, send all your guys down to us. And we did. And Jeff Shannon had a little part in that because he had just come from San Bernardino County. But, they were gracious enough to get us going and give us some experience for a week at a time. And I remember sitting in the back of their 500, and we were chasing some guy on a motorcycle, and I'm in the back going, "Oh, there he is!" And the TFO's like, "God, shut the hell up back there!" He's like, and here I am, 20, something years old, just thinking I'm just saving the world right now. And this guy's telling me, shut. He goes, he's trying to talk to his pilot, trying to talk to the ground units, and here I'm in the back, screaming like a little girl. My first experience, going after a bad guy in a helicopter.
Yeah. That's cool.
So anyway, a little over 6,000 square miles. A large portion of that is the valley floor, which lends itself to lots of citrus, row crop. So we got a lot of hiding places for, bad guys, especially out in the county with the orange groves. Finding a guy inside of an orange grove is a feat in itself with the amount of heat that's put off by an orange tree. And then, we have a gradual increase in terrain out on the western side of Fresno County up to about, I think, 5,800 is our highest spot out there, out west of I-5. Some of the toughest flying I've done is out on the west side.
Really?
The mountains the winds out there. The winds out there, and the terrain lends itself to a lot of wind shear.
Okay.
I mean, they got real steep, jagged terrain, believe it or not, rock formation, and it can make for a hell of a ride.
Yeah.
I've taken a pilot out there. We go out there and land at 1,500 feet with the wind howling, and you can't do it.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, what's not? You just landed at 8,000.
Yeah.
Why can't you land out here at 1,500? It's just it lends itself to its unique circumstances out there on the west side. Then that's the wind. Back to the east, we have the passes. We've got the Pacific Crest Trail and the John Muir Trail, highly populated trails for Fresno County. Good portion of those trails are in Fresno County, and they're between the 8,000 and 12,000 foot range. So when you got a guy that twists an ankle or a gal gets high altitude sickness, that's where we're going. Yeah. So it's just by the very nature of Fresno County, the way it's set up, that's our working area. So again, then there are passes that are higher than that that we've gone on. Fresno County goes 3.8 miles from Mammoth Ski Resort.
Oh.
So you get a lot of people to drive up from either the Bay Area or LA at sea level early in the morning, and by 3 o'clock in the afternoon, they're at 12,000 feet.
Yep.
Then they don't feel so well.
No, they don't.
And they hit that little button on that little thing they bought at Big Five, and here we come, Yeah. And we'll land up there, pick them up, take them back down to the Mammoth Airport, TOT them to EMS if it's bad enough, or we'll take them back to their car. We've landed in the city of, I'm going to say the city of Mammoth,
it's
the town of Mammoth.
Sure.
And,
town.
We landed at the hockey rink there, and
yeah.
PD comes over and grabs the guy and takes him over his car, and off he goes back to LA. Right. So the geography in Fresno County is, I think, some of the best flying geography in the United States. You get a little bit of everything, and it lends itself to a lot of
two major rivers. So.
Yeah, 2 major rivers, probably 4 major lakes. Actually, more than that, to tell you the truth. But ones that are highly populated with boating and stuff like that. So that lends itself to the river rescues, the boating accidents way back in these on these lakes that are not easily accessible, and it lends itself to a lot of diverse type of flying.
Yeah.
So that's where pushing yourself as a pilot and as a crew, more so than just a pilot, to go out there and do these things on your downtime, so I'm gonna call it. So when you back to your deal, when it's time to perform, man, you gotta be ready to go.
Yep.
Yeah.
Is Yosemite in Fresno County?
It is not.
Oh, really? Is it close?
It's close, but California High Patrol does, I'm gonna say, most of all of the work in Fresno, or I'm sorry, in Yosemite, as far as the vertical face rescue.
Okay.
They're flying the H-125.
Yep.
And they're well versed in that type of rescue.
Gotcha.
And they do that.
Okay.
We're strictly the long line guys. You can be in a world of hurt. We're going to get you out of there real quick, and then we're going to turn you over to somebody that can give you some good meds and save your life.
Right.
We'll get you out of a bad spot, whether it be a tow in and load you, or a short haul. And get you the help you need.
Where's the 14.8? What is that a particular peak?
Paiute Pass.
Paiute Pass?
Yeah. We were another one of our guys and I, Dave Cunha, were looking for a hiker that another group of hikers had found a backpack, no hiker with them. It lent itself to this area that we needed to check, and pushing yourself.
Yeah.
I wanted to see if this thing was going to do what the man said it was going to do, and sure enough, it did.
Wow.
And so that just gives you that confidence when you got to go do that tow in, at 12,000 on a ledge, so your partner can get out and go get somebody. But we were actually up on a call, and like I said, the F model can do that.
Wow, that's really amazing. That geography is fascinating. I mean, that's a wide variety of terrain and altitudes to deal with.
Some of the pictures I sent you have some of those pictures in it.
Yeah.
What about the department? Department size, personnel, that sort of thing.
Your typical probably Fresno County sheriff, makeup. You got your command staff. Obviously, you got the patrol division and the jail division. I'm gonna say there's probably about 500 and some deputies.
I was thinking 6. I'm not sure. Yeah,
I'm not sure if that includes the jail court staff as well. Those guys are deputy sheriffs too, and I want to say a lot of young guys.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Oh, there's a ton.
It's funny. This last 10 years, man, I go to these trainings and I don't know hardly anybody in the training.
You know how
class.
it is. You're at the airport. You don't see these guys.
On island.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're on an island, and you see these people.
Those guys driving around. I'm like, don't know that guy. Don't know that one.
Yeah.
And they probably look at me too. And like,
who's this guy?
And I got news for you. It's going to get worse.
Yeah.
After you retire and you come back, I go back to air support. I just told somebody this today, where I go back to air support in L.A. and just walk in. The first 5 people I bump into, I've never seen them before in my life, and I've only been gone 9 years.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, who are these people? And then I finally see, I see Manny or Kevin and go, hey,
And they're going, oh, he knows somebody here.
I guess he's okay.
He's okay.
He's okay. That's crazy.
No soliciting here,
jack
sir.
him up just now.
Oh my God, no soliciting. That's for sure.
Oh.
Thank you to our sponsor, SpectroLab. SpectroLab, a pioneer and world-leading supplier of high-intensity searchlights for all para-public operations. Visit www.spectrolab.com to learn more about our 3rd generation Night Sun series high-intensity searchlight. When reliability and performance is critical to your mission, count on SpectroLab Night Sun searchlights.
Search and rescue. You are a big part of that. But there's got to be a big part of that from ground perspective. How is that set up in Fresno County?
I would say Fresno County, being head of OES Region 5, has probably got one of the top tier search and rescue units anywhere. I'm going to put it out there.
Yep.
I mean, the diverse terrain that they have to work in.
Yes.
Lends itself to water rescue.
And those guys are like swift water rescue certified. They
high
do
angle rope
ropes,
stuff.
Yeah,
I mean, you name it, those guys do it, and we train with them too.
Yeah,
a big part of the helicopter deal is moving those guys around. Sure. That was one of the evolutions of having a helicopter for search and rescue. Instead of these guys driving from Fresno to Edison Lake, which would be 3.5, maybe 4 hours,
at least.
By the time they got their gear, packed up and driving like a deputy sheriff, 4 hours. Wow. Have them come to the airport, take 2 guys, their gear, and off we go. 30 minutes, we're on scene, and we can dump these guys ahead of a possible search area, and they can backtrack and start clearing stuff while people are coming. Wow. The platform of the 500 lends itself to only doing that with 2 guys. Sure. Obviously, the bigger aircraft, mediums, you can do a whole team. But that aspect of once those people get on scene to the an LZ or the CP command post that's been set up for a search, we start moving people.
Yeah.
Drop 2 here, drop 2 here, drop 2 here. And now these guys are way ahead of the ball game. They're not exhausted. We can dump water to them. We've flown sandwiches in. Yeah. I mean, these guys are eating MREs before the helicopters. Now they're eating Subway sandwiches. They're like,
pizza's still warm.
Yeah, I mean, good stuff. So
that's great.
That evolution took the whole search and rescue aspect and multiplied it by 10.
Yeah,
that's what helicopters do. Yeah. I mean,
I think you will agree with me with this too. So search and rescue. So I've been in the unit for 20 years. When I started, like the first few years, it seemed like we were going out there and looking for missing people every weekend. Like, this guy hasn't shown up. This guy's, can't find him. And we feel like with the way technology has advanced, it's like it's very rare that we're looking for a missing person.
Yeah.
It's either an injured person now.
Yeah.
Because missing, like they have a GPS.
Yeah.
They've got
technology.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
It's changed in your time. You got to watch that change.
Yeah. One thing they can't account for is injury.
Yeah, the injury. They still keep us busy.
We just today went to Centum and looked at their rescue devices. So essentially, they're cell phone locating devices you guys have probably seen.
Well, I just heard about it last night, and I wanted to get their info because I think
LifeSeeker.
That's pretty cool.
It is really cool.
So it makes basically your helicopter the tower.
Yeah.
Is that correct? Is that how it is?
Yeah. It'll revolutionize the time it takes to find somebody.
Yeah.
As long as your phone has charge, it's sending out a signal searching for a tower, and you become that tower.
Wow.
And and you can narrow it down to the coordinates.
Why didn't I come up with that idea?
That's what we said.
Oh, man.
That's the simplest idea.
Close. $1 million idea right there.
Simplest idea, but somebody thought of it, and they're creating it, and it was fascinating. John and I just stood there, and we kept looking at each other and go, oh, this is so cool. I mean, this is search and rescue heaven. You can put it on a drone, you can put it on a helicopter, you can put it on a fixed wing, whatever. Really, really cool. But that was one of the highlights for us today is talking to them.
You mentioned drones, and I'd say along with search and rescue, Fresno County has one of the top tier drone programs anywhere.
For the same reasons? Because of the terrain and the geography?
Geography, and obviously officer safety, and just what that piece of equipment lends itself to just the average patrol call. Helicopter may be up in the mountains on a search for hours. Well, need a drone. I mean, you can't have a helicopter for all of it.
Right.
And our current supervisor in Air Support, Chad Stokes, is also part of the drone unit. And
he's done an excellent job with that unit too.
Yeah. Yes, he has.
I think so too.
Yeah.
From everything I've heard, and I've heard nothing but positive.
We've embraced the drone unit as far as because like I said, we can't be everywhere at the same time, and obviously we can't work 24 hours.
Right.
And I think it's kind of
modern technology
help the guys on patrol. Like they're like,
obviously, it can save lives, but helicopter can land and put hands on.
That's right.
And in Fresno County, that happens. Just by the nature of the geography. That single unit going to a DV in the middle of the mountains. Backup's 30, 40 minutes away.
Yeah.
We're there in 10 minutes, and we're either hovering by the back door or in the front yard, or we're landing and taking care of business. We're deputy sheriffs.
Yeah.
That's first and foremost. We're deputy sheriffs. We carry M4s, 223s, got all our gear, carry a lot of ammo, and we do air platform shooting training, and we've deployed, ready to use lethal force but we never had to by the decision that the suspect made.
Right.
But we're proficient at it, very proficient at it.
Yeah.
So
Going back to the drone, just real quick, you just mentioned it's a separate unit, but how does that unit integrate with aviation? How do you guys train to be on the same page?
Communication on calls.
So like they train once a month, and so like I said, our sergeant, he's a sergeant of the drone team too. And so like they know, and so we know exactly at what altitude they're always going to be flying at. And if we have to land, like it's just back, like, hey, we're going to be landing here. Like, okay, we're coming down, or it's just, I mean, there's a good communication because they obviously know what we're going to do. We don't always know exactly but if they're going to do something different, they tell us.
Yeah.
And it's just like, even if it's simple things like, hey, battery change going down.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All about talking.
Yeah. It's the communication's excellent.
Yeah.
And he's instilled that into his guys, and he's instilled it to us, and it's worked out real well.
But we haven't trained with them. But I mean, I don't think it'd be a bad idea if like I attended one of their trainings.
Sure.
Yeah.
Never a bad idea. Whatever the
just
unit
kind of
is.
see what's going on. Yeah.
Canine SWAT.
I mean, it's a good idea. I was just thinking about that. Like,
the more you can learn.
I mean, the stuff that those guys do with those things, man, I'm sure you guys have seen everybody's seen the footage of
Sure.
Indoor drone one.
going through windows and,
it's crazy.
Yeah, man. I mean, why not send a battery-operated deal in instead of a guy?
Yeah.
Always.
And it's just phenomenal.
Clearing cars.
And that's Well, and that stuff the helicopter can't really do.
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just another tool.
Yeah, I just read an incident today about a drone. Well, it was a SWAT call. RP said there's someone inside with a vest on that was threatening to commit suicide by blowing the vest up. So SWAT went out there. They sent a drone in. The person did have a vest on, detonated the explosive vest, obviously killed himself, and the concussion from the explosion knocked the drone down. You think about what that would have done to the team that made entry.
Yeah.
So
you'd have death. There would be dead SWAT guys.
Yeah.
It's great. It's changing tactics. It's making our making us more efficient and all the things we want to do. It's a complementary tool to aviation.
It totally is. It's not going to take over. There's definitely a way to mesh it all in, and even like I said, make it safer for the guys on the ground, for everybody.
Yeah.
And communication is key. This conversation's happened 3 times in the past day and a half with the drones, manned, unmanned, and everybody says the same thing. As long as you have communication, good communication, direct communication, and everybody's following their rules and their guidelines, you're going to be fine.
So I like your direct communication. It's like when we do rescue work, when we work with the fire guys, like you have to be talking directly to that person. So like with the drone stuff, it has to be direct. I don't want the third party.
No middle
like,
man.
hey, it's got to be direct, right? That's
very
key.
important. I agree. I think that's just smart. I mean, you see and hear about things where it has to go through a third party.
Yeah,
it delays it, and by the time they get the message,
you get the telephone game.
Changed.
Something's changed.
It's something you may have changed in 5 seconds. It can change. Yeah. It just makes no sense to go through somebody else. I want to talk to, if you're operating that drone and I'm flying this helicopter, I want to talk to you.
Yeah.
I mean, so that when I say, hey, I need you to do this now, or I'm going to do this now, it's instant. And there's no delay. There's no question. And if you're confused, you say, hey, Jack, I have no idea what you just meant.
Right.
Where are you going to land? Or what are you going to do? Or you were broken.
Yeah.
You get that delay and you're not direct. Oh, my gosh, it can create havoc.
Yeah.
But that's cool that you're integrating.
Oh, yeah.
And more departments are doing this, but some I'm sure that there's some that aren't talking about it. They're just doing it, and they're not having that communication. And that can create a problem.
Yeah, that can bite you.
Wow, this is great. So Johnny, let's go back to you and tell us about the air support unit. What assets do you have? How many? What mission equipment? Give us an overview of your unit.
So we have 8 full-time. So everybody in the unit right now is a pilot and a TFO.
Yeah.
We have one guy who's a TFO, not a pilot yet, but we've trained everybody up to become a pilot. Not necessarily that they are working as a pilot, but they have their license. Everybody has their commercial now. Wow. So we have 3 helicopters, 2 E models, 1 F. We have a Cessna 206. We got the FLIR 380 on the Cessna, and we share one between the helicopters, Spectralab Night Suns,
Yeah, for Lewis. That's for Lewis right
for
there.
Lewis Castro. And
Lewis is the man.
Yes.
I think we just purchased 2 shot overs, one for the 206, and then one's going to get installed and shared between the 3 helicopters.
The 206 is primarily used for
surveillance.
Do you also use it on some sort of searches or anything, or is it strictly surveillance?
So it gets tied up with surveillance a lot. We have worked it on patrol. They've done some searches with it.
Yeah.
And everybody knows the airplane kills it on patrol. It'll slay. But
instant target acquisition. I mean,
Yeah.
3,000 feet.
But
address.
right now we only have 1 pilot for the airplane, so it's you can only have 1 guy do so much. You know,
is that going to change? You think?
Yeah,
where you get more pilots that will be qualified to do that, and
that's the plan, and it's already in motion. We're to train up some airplane pilots, and like I said, we've done that with the helicopter stuff, and we started that when we know Mike's going to retire, so let's get ahead of this and try to get things. And like I said, we've got 2 young guys, and one just took Mike's spot, and we have one in the wings waiting. I think the future as far as progressing forward, it looks good, and we're on the right path.
To those of us, and it includes me, I learned a lot more today because we were with Dave Salem over at the 530 F. Tell the difference between the E and the F. You mentioned it, one of you mentioned it earlier that it's summertime and we want that F available. So is it all about power, or are there other things that make the difference between an E and an F for that 530?
So the blades are longer. The main rotor blades are longer. Tail booms kicked out. Those blades are about 1 inch longer too, and then the engine. They got that C30 in there, and I think another couple hundred horsepower, it's 650, something like that.
Yeah.
And it does not temp out. That temp doesn't move. Yeah. So 105, with the E's, you're temping out. But with the F model, you don't even look at the temp. It's all torque. And so, and then once you start to climb about 5,000, 6,000, it just kicks on another level.
The F does. The F just goes into another.
You could be at 5,000 or 4,000 landing at Buckeye, and you're like, oh man,
and it likes it there.
It's crazy, man. But then you're like, oh wow, it's I thought I'd be able to land with less power, right? At 4,000, then you go up to 8,009, and you're just like, okay, well, here's the power that I was looking for. It truly is a workhorse.
Are there things that you can do with the F that you cannot do with the E, or you can do it but just with a less margin of error? How would you describe that?
With the F, you're getting that margin of error, I'm just, like I said, that first rescue at 10.5, it's okay, let's see what this is going to do. 2 of us land, we pick up a mother and her 16-year-old boy who messed up his knee, throw him in the back, and I'm like, we're practically full. I mean, it was a 45-minute, maybe 40-minute flight. We got aux tank, and it pulls out, and it doesn't even go in the yellow. Yeah. I mean, I'm in the green the whole time.
Whereas the E could have done that, but you wouldn't.
So the E,
you couldn't have done it.
I
wouldn't have got in there.
But you wouldn't have got out of there.
Okay.
I would have left my partner there, put the 16-year-old in the back, and tell Mom we'll be back for you too. And
so that's a big difference.
Oh, it's huge.
Squeak it out of there. And just thinking dude, you better make it. Right. That's exactly what you're thinking. It's
the F is just a machine where you don't have to compromise.
Right.
I'm going to tell you that. You can work an E at 12,000. I did it this last summer on a plane wreck up in the mountains. Land, do your business and take off and go. Even take somebody out of there after burning off a little fuel. But with the F, you can go to 14,800 and 350 pounds.
So the only negative, it's the same platform. It's just, you're not getting a bigger size. You're not getting that bigger helicopter.
Yeah. It's identical.
Identical.
Right?
It's identical.
It's just the tail rotor length, the
blades,
rotor blades, and the engine is different as well.
C30.
Right?
Bigger motor.
C20.
Bigger motor.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah. Burns a little more. It burns 33 gallons an hour compared to 27.
Okay.
A little more gas.
A little more gas. But I mean, with the aux tank, you're looking at if you go to the mountains, you can get 210 out of it, 215.
I think you can get 215.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm always conservative. That's. my biggest pet peeve is like fuel.
Yeah.
And so like Mike, I think it's probably because of Jim Lale.
Yeah.
So, Jim Lale, he's retired now. And so but I just remember sometimes coming back from the mountains and that low fuel light comes on and he's like, yeah, we're fine. It says 8 minutes on my Garmin. We're going to be there. I'm like,
it's probably fine. That's always a red flag.
Just like,
that was those old school pilots, man.
Yeah. He's like, I've done this. I'm like, so in my mind now, I'm like, dude, I'm not even, that light is never coming on.
Yeah. So, I mean, but the margin there is no compromise.
Yeah.
You don't have to take the doors off. You don't take the back seat out. You don't have to leave all your gear and just carry a gun and a radio. You can take all your gear, take all your stuff, and go.
I'm so used to it.
We strip it out.
Strip it down anyways,
Yeah.
just because I'm used to I'm going to the mountains, take everything off. Like,
obviously you don't take the night sun of the FLIR, especially if you're going up there to work a call.
Yeah. Well, I was just always trained dead weight.
Yeah.
I'm not taking any dead weight.
Yeah.
We fly like they're still needing to be stripped because it just gives you that much more.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it works pretty good.
I think I know the answer to this, but it sounds like that the search and rescue part of your job was your favorite.
Yeah.
I mean, it like you said, rewarding, challenging for all the things we've been talking about. And maybe you've talked about the mission already because you both talked about some, but most impactful search and rescue mission for you in all your time there, most impactful for you personally.
Thank you to our sponsor, Metro Aviation. Metro Aviation, the world's largest family-owned aeromedical operator, offers comprehensive aircraft services with 160-plus aircraft in over 25 states. The Completion Center installs medical and law enforcement kits and avionics, serving diverse aviation needs including offshore, utility, VIP, and corporate sectors.
Man, I've had a few. More of a rescue, the one that Johnny and I did pulling that girl out of the river. I've found multiple people. Me and my partner, Johnny and I, Greg and I, have found multiple people that if we wouldn't have found them, they wouldn't be here. I had a gal go off the top of a mountain called Ball Mountain in an ATV, and she was ejected. She went down about 150 feet, did a tow in. We were able to pull her out and get her to a medical helicopter, a real good one. There was nobody else available. H-40, no hoist, no nothing. It was, I probably made 20 approaches to this spot before I could get in there.
Really?
It was a downwind approach up against a rock wall.
Oh, yeah. Just waiting for the conditions to change just a bit that you felt better?
Just to burn that extra 16 ounces of fuel off.
Yeah, that's the great part about flying in the mountains with our helicopters. It's just like what works now, 5 minutes, might not work, or what didn't work, 5 minutes later, it might work.
It's such a fluid environment.
Yeah, everything
Aviation
changes.
by itself is a fluid environment.
Yeah.
But when flying helicopters, it's a fluid environment. Right. You have to be able to adapt to any change at any time, no matter what you're doing.
Yeah.
Wind, weight, temperature, terrain. It's evolving every moment.
So that wasn't uncommon for you to try multiple times, and then all of a sudden you go, "Yeah, baby," and it worked.
I've been in a meadow with two SAR members in the back, and I've had them hold their packs out on the edge of the door.
Yeah. I've heard this.
And I'd be hovering and now when you're that far back in the middle of nowhere, you got to make a decision. If I got to get back.
Yeah.
At some point that fuel gauge is going to tell me I got to go no matter what. So I'd be hovering in there, and you're down in this hole, and you're just watching the tips of the trees that are about 100 feet up start to blow. And like, okay, there's wind up there.
Yeah.
And I tell these guys, I said, if I tell you guys to dump those packs.
Oh my gosh.
You freaking dump those packs,
Yeah.
So just watching, I'd pull some power, it'd come up and only go about halfway, and we'd come back down.
Yep.
And just hover for another couple minutes and pull it back up and get a little bit further. And I tell these guys, okay, this one's going to be a pull. You guys are going to feel it. And if I tell you to, dump your packs, because I'm going to catch that wind right when it was almost a cycle.
Yeah.
I saw those little tips of those trees start, yank the guts out of that thing, top of the yellow, helicopter go up. And just before I'd tell them dump those packs, it'd catch.
Yeah.
And it just keep on climbing.
Oh,
and
man.
off you go. And like, hi, boys, we're going home. You know? Heck, he and I, man, have come out of the mountains. You know, weather come in. I've been off the backside of the Sierras.
Wall of water.
Wall.
We did see a wall of water.
Yeah.
Though. Remember that one time coming down from Edison?
I know.
Oh, geez.
So I've been off the backside of the Sierras, going to trying to make it into Bishop.
Yeah.
Sierra thunderstorms can develop, and I want to say instantly. It can develop instantly.
Yes.
I've been off the backside of the Sierras, pulling full power, still just on a 1,500 foot minute descent, and water coming in the helicopter sideways.
Jeez.
I mean, it just happens. Visibility was good, but man, what a ride to the bottom. In the downdraft, I've got pictures of the snow doing curls, in the Sierras. He and I come out of a search trying to make it back to Fresno, literally coming down a canyon, come around a canyon corner, and it's literally solid.
Yeah, we
turn
were
around, go back.
Clouds are coming in, and we're stuck up here, and we're just like, holy cow, we are not getting out of here. So we're just like, all right, we're gonna find a meadow somewhere because, we're gonna get to that point where we don't have enough gas.
Yeah.
So this brings us to a good thing that we've talked about before. The first time we talked about was with the Canadians. Remember about survival packs.
We got them.
So what do you carry? Because you're going on these things.
Probably
what
not
do
enough
you carry
stuff.
for yourselves so that you can survive the day?
You bet.
What do you carry?
Your typical stuff, man. Water, a little protein, carbohydrate pack.
I had flares in mine, some food.
Smoke signals, stuff to make a fire, stuff to do a little fishing in the creek. You just
For
never
recreation or for survival?
I always carried these old military flight suits. It's almost like a parka flight suit.
during the winter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in the winter, it's just this huge, super thick flight suit.
Yeah.
And, I always had it back there, and I never did it. So we did winter training one time, and I put that thing on. It's like, oh, shit, I never wear it. I'm going to put it on. And I think 5 minutes, I'm just like sweating like crazy.
It was literally for guys in Antarctica.
Yeah, I was like, dude, this thing is like insane. I was like, maybe this isn't the best thing to take.
I would carry a backpack.
I was going to ask you, it fits in a backpack.
It fits in a backpack, and it had like an extra jacket, a red jacket, fire starting material, first aid stuff, basic first aid, some tools, safety wire, zip ties. Well,
you almost had to stay the night one time. You and Jim.
Oh, yeah, Jim Lell, man, doing that pilot shit. Flying up canyon, upwind or downwind, going up a canyon. The guy broke his ankle on this rock trail, finds this little tiny ledge, and dumps the helicopter in there. I don't know how we got in here, but, man, getting out of here is going to be a real treat.
Yeah.
So I hiked down to this guy, and he's got his ankle's just all mangled and everything. So I put him on my back. Climb back up this hill about 100 yards, get him all loaded up in this helicopter. Jim goes to start it, and hot start.
Oh.
I'm like, oh, my God, no way. So I go back there, and I click it up a notch. I mean, we're not where anybody can come get us.
Yeah.
I mean, we're way back. Number 2, man, that's it. It's done. It ain't going anywhere. So I tell this guy, hey, man, we're going to be here a while. So mosquitoes were as big as freaking
pterodactyls.
Oh, they're nasty out there.
We were getting eaten alive. So I start building this fire ring, and I'm going to build this big old fire and get some smoke going so that we can fan these things off. Now I'm getting hungry, and I hadn't taken anything with me, and so this guy had some granola bars and stuff like that. So we started in on his food. So I said, man, what am I going to do? And so we have a sat phone in the helicopter.
So there's a sat phone, right? So he's like, we just bought a sat phone. So like I'm off. It's like a Saturday. I think I know exactly where I was at. I'm at dinner. My phone rings and it's Mike, and I'm like, hey, what's up, dude? He's like, dude, Jim and I are stuck in the mountains. Hot start, blah blah blah. He's like, how do I work the cell phone, or how do I work the sat phone so I can call and try to get help out here? I'm like, well, you're calling me on your phone. Why don't you just call them on your phone?
My cell phone had bars. I don't know how it had bars, man.
Well, why don't you just use your phone and call? He's like, Ah, shit, bye.
So a buddy of mine worked for Kern County.
Yeah.
And they had their 210, Bell 210.
Yep.
So I call up him. I said, "Hey, dude, what are you doing right now?" And he's like, "Not much, man. We're just kind of hanging out." I said, "You want to come do a rescue in Fresno County?" He goes, "Oh, man, what's up?" I said,
"Rescue me."
I said, "Well, I'm stuck on the side of a mountain, you know."
Oh, my gosh.
This is Tim McCoffrin. And he goes, "All right." He goes, "Give me your coordinates." So I did, and he goes, he plots it out. He goes, "I'll be there in an hour and 20 minutes." I said, "All right, buddy." I go, "It's getting close to dark at the time." And I said, I'll have this guy ready to go for you. I'm not telling you. I'm telling you, hour and 20 minutes, man, you hear, I'm like, holy shit, man, here they come,
He's
man.
really coming.
I said, they're going to make it. And, man, I see this big old Huey come down, does some big circling descents, and he comes in and he plants this thing right close to us. I'm thinking, oh, man, I'm going to get this guy out of here, you know. So I carry him over to the helicopter, put him in. I think, we'll spend the night here until somebody can come help us, you know. And he goes, "What are you doing?" I said, "Yeah, we're going to camp here." He goes, "Get in the helicopter, man." He goes, "We can take you with you." I'm all, "Jim, we're out of here, man. They're going to save us too. You know, we don't have to fight up these." Man, we jumped. That's the first time I'd really been, you know, in a Huey, and this thing, you know, Cadillac, you know, really nice machine. We pile in this thing, man. They fly us back to Fresno. We're so happy, you know. Cool. And then they ended up flying mechanic up. They did a fuel control change on it and took an APU up, and
and boom, you're okay.
It was like the shortest of a hot start you can get, like half a second at 926 or 927, you know. So they checked it all out. It checked good. The E's and not so much the F, because F is a modulated start. The E's have the Bendix start. So, you know, you can get what you get, you know. Right. So when you go land up there, you don't turn it off. Yeah. You know, that's the one thing you don't do is turn off that helicopter. And Jim has shut that thing off, and, you know, we were at 9,000, I think, and it wasn't happy starting.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
So,
wow, what a story!
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's
good stuff, man.
So it was close. You almost stayed.
Yeah. So
thank you, Kern County.
So Kern
Isn't
County,
it good to have friends?
Oh,
with helicopters.
With helicopters.
The Bears were licking their chops.
They were hoping, man. They were hoping. But, you know, back to your earlier question, there's been quite a few, but I'm going to say the one Johnny and I did with pulling that gal out from underneath that strainer in the river with her family there and everything. It would have been a serious tragedy.
Yes.
They
would have to watch that.
Yeah, there's been others that I've been, as a TFO, I was with Jim Lale on a SAR. A father and son had cliffed out on a gorge going out the north end of a valley. These guys got to a point where they were done. They couldn't go up. They couldn't go down. They would have died. Yeah. We had a kid on a raft. Dad put this kid on a inner tube at the top of a campground. He says, "Well, go down." And this kid's like 7 years old. Puts him on this thing, no PFD. Puts him on a Walmart tube. Goes down to the campground. Here comes the kid on the float. Goes by the dad, and that's the last I see of him.
Oh.
Jeez.
And there's no road going downfall in that river, nothing. It's going into no man's land.
I mean, it's going wilderness.
Yeah.
So they call, we get up there. Actually, it was the next morning.
Was it?
I think so. Well, maybe it was the afternoon. No, because he went pretty far. I can't remember. No, he went all night. This kid floated on this river all night by himself. 7 years old. They just held on. So we get up there in the morning, start, going, and I think, man, there's no way this kid's going to make this. Right. Sure as hell, man. We find this kid stuck holding on to this tube, holding on to a rock.
Wow.
In a river.
Wow, that is amazing.
That was you and Billy, right?
Yeah, me and Billy.
Yeah.
So I landed on a sandbar, and he went basically walking up this river and made it to this kid, and we pulled him out.
Jeez.
That's just the nature of what that geography lended itself to. High altitude sicknesses, twisting the knees, pulling the Achilles. And another thing with F, before the F, we were having to give up quite a few rescues to CHP. The E's just didn't have the performance to go do some of the stuff. With the F model, we found that dramatically decreased by the fact that we had the performance. Right. We could go land next to somebody or do a tow in or something like that, pick somebody up. you can go for it. There's some now
still can't hoist.
Still can't.
I mean,
yeah.
If we can get into hoisting, I think that's just probably the next
evolution.
The next level for our department is
Yeah.
like, okay, maybe, and not maybe, like we need to, like, as much as the rescue work that we have, it's like that would be the only logical step is get a helicopter that is hoist capable and then growing the unit that way.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You know?
But the F model allowed us to dramatically change that aspect of search and rescue, and we went from, let's say, 1 out of every 6, 7 down to 1 out of every 10. So we increased our performance and our ability, but we had to give up those hoist rescues due to terrain sometimes, or just performance, depending on what helicopter was available. So that aspect of
But
it.
you work well with the CHP.
Oh,
I mean,
man.
you have a good relationship with them. I
A
know.
lot of times they'll have to strip out also. I mean, they got H125, but at 12,000,
We
weight's weight.
We work so well. Like I've done rescues with them, flown in their helicopter, and they've hoisted me down.
Yeah.
And then vice versa. Just like even 3 weeks ago, we landed up at McKinsey for a hoist, and so then I was with Gong, and so he was piloting, and I was TFO, and I'm like, well, technically I'm the TFO, I get to go, but he had never done a hoist. Actually gone on the hoist with CHP. I said, "You go do it, dude. It's a good experience." So, we
we
train
work
with them
real well with those guys. A lot of times, they'll offload gear so they can do the hoist, and then they'll repackage. They'll go to, and we'll go over and pick up all their med gear and all that stuff that they don't need to take with them. We'll dump it in our helicopter, or if it's a party of 2. They'll pull the injured person out. Well, we can't leave that other person out there.
Right.
We'll go grab that person, and we'll take them back down to wherever they're going to be needing to go. So excellent working environment with the California High Patrol.
Good.
It's and we get along with those guys. We do a lot of activities together.
We do training with them.
Solid dudes.
Training.
Training. Wilderness training.
Yeah.
Thank you to our sponsor, CNC Technologies. CNC Technologies, serving law enforcement, government, and military markets with tailored mission solutions, system training, and live 24/7 support with CNC.live platform. Explore more at cnctechnologies.com.
Well, time is flying. I want to cover a few things here before we wrap. It kind of, I don't want to embarrass you, Mike. I'm just gonna read something here off this sheet that was submitted for this award. And I think that's important. I'll get your feelings on it, and then I want to hear from Johnny too, because of the mentorship part of this. So this is from the nomination for the award here at APSCON. As he transitions into retirement, Deputy Sill leaves behind an extraordinary legacy, one that will inspire future generations of deputies and pilots. His absence will be deeply felt across the department, particularly within the air support unit, but his impact will endure for years to come. That is quite a paragraph right there that you should be very proud of.
I am.
And I know you are.
Humbled by it, actually.
Well, it's beautiful. It was really nice. So, with all that said, talk about the proudest thing that you've had influence on or been participated. The thing that you're proudest of in your time at Fresno County Air Support.
I would say I'll preface this with I got to thank all the guys that taught me.
Sure.
Jeff Shanen, Fred Bach, Jim Lell. Then I got to thank my partners, Johnny Reyes, Greg Villanueva, Mike Gong, Jameson Norby, Bill Vincent. It wasn't me. I mean, it's a crew. It has to be a crew. And I couldn't have done any of that stuff or get to this point for somebody to make that statement without those guys.
Understood.
So first and foremost, that is it has to be said. What I'm probably most proud of is the reputation that we built by doing the work we were able to do. And again, that all comes from the whole unit working together, from maintenance to our vendors. Blake Davies at Heroes, man. You don't go fly in the mountains unless you got a good motor. Ed Brown at Hellemart. the customer service at MD. You know, every manufacturer's got its ups and downs, and everybody's going to complain about something. But I'm going to tell you, MD, for the most part, I'm going to say 9 out of 10 is taking care of us. So there's a lot of people that were behind me that made my job what it was and let me do what I did. And I would not have been able to do any of that without all those people.
Very nice.
So I would have to say the most proud thing I have to say about it is the what we established, what we built, and what is going to basically become from today forward. Now that I'm gone, I'm proud of the fact that I was able to be a part of it, and that I was able to have some part of it, and I was able to make some change or make a difference in some portion of what I did to have that unit continue to be even better in the future. And like Johnny was saying, the new guys, I mean, some good talent. And I only encourage those guys to push themselves. And that's what it was. That was what was told to me, and it worked out really well.
Wow,
so,
very nice.
So that's what I'd have to say about that.
Nice. Well, Johnny, now you can embarrass him a little bit because I'm going to ask you. Tell us. We talked about it the other night. The impact that this man right here, Mike Sill, had on you personally. Talk about that impact.
Yeah, I think I touched on it a little earlier too. It's like if he hadn't made that call and reached out, like I truly believe like I wouldn't be where I am today. And like I'm proud of what I've accomplished in the last 20 years as far as what we've done, what me and the other guys have done. And like that wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for you, Mike. And I've told you many times, like, and like the fact that as I got in the unit, like, yeah, you were, I mean, obviously you're larger than me, taller wise, but you were just, like flying around, like he's like, he becomes the helicopter, and it was just flying with him. It was always that, like that, wow, like this, and it's like, I said, all right, I'm going to do this. If I'm going to do this, I'm going all the way, and like, I'm going to be better than him. But, like you said, it was just that you need to have something to strive for. And, and like, I'll say it, I've said it 100 times, and I'll say it 100 more times, dude. Thank you for everything, dude.
Yeah, you got it, buddy.
Yeah.
That's very nice.
And the good thing
it was a great ride, man. Lucky, blessed, and fortunate.
Yeah, I love that.
So can't top it off, man. Yeah. It's a Cinderella all the way.
That's cool.
Well, final thing, I want to get input. I know you're retired, and you've had your impact. The legacy will live on in many ways because you've trained people and taught people and all that. But what do you think the future looks like for Fresno County Air Support? And then, Johnny, I'm going to ask you that too.
Oh, bigger, more capable, expand the mission, and staying on a positive path with developing people from within.
Yeah.
And I think that will create the strength that's needed to endure if there's ever a bad time, because we've been very fortunate to have the support of the people of Fresno County, the sheriffs of Fresno County, the board of supervisors of Fresno County. There hasn't always been 100%. You're going to get that.
Sure.
If somebody's like, are you kidding me? That costs what?
Just reality.
But the fact that those people have entrusted us with a multi-million-dollar helicopter to go out and do stuff that makes a difference and support that difference, man, I don't know how you can ask. It's winning the lottery, man.
Yeah.
It's the golden ticket. It's all of it in one thing. I'm telling you guys, you're talking to the luckiest guy you've ever had to interview.
I love that.
I truly believe that he'll be the luckiest guy you'll ever interview again. I mean, it's unlike anything else. It's tough to describe.
It is.
Never had to worry about where the support came, and that's just huge for these new units.
Yeah,
that are new people that are coming into this. You got to get people to buy in, and it has to be through the whole gamut of the operation. And I'm telling you that starts at the business office with the gal that is making the checks out to your vendors.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you what, that can create holy hell. You have to have those people buy in as well, and you have to nurture that relationship with those people. And those people change over quite a bit.
Yeah.
So if that means you got to go down there every month that they change somebody out, and you have to explain to them what their job is and how it affects you, get them to buy in on it. So when the vendor says, "Hey, you're net 90 right now. You're supposed to be net 30," and that can really cause a problem.
Yeah.
Sure.
And it has to be bought in by even those people. And you have to look at the big picture. It's easy to look at it up close and it looks fine. You back up and look at the big picture and you see who else is involved in this, and you have to reach out to those people. And real important is, we all talk about ride-alongs and going out and doing these public displays for kids. I'll tell you what, when you get ride-alongs, those are people, that really genuinely support your organization. And it's very important that you show appreciation to those people, because you never know who you're going to be giving a ride to.
Yeah, that's very true. And we've heard that a bunch from people.
And you're like, oh, ride-along, oh, Jesus. But I tell you what, at the end of those ride-alongs, man, you're like, man, I'm glad I did that.
Yeah.
And it makes a difference. And you go out and do these kids' days at schools, or you go do these functions at, Make-A-Wish. That's just part of it.
Yeah.
And you have to go out and make those positive impacts. That's just what it takes to keep. And maybe that's why our unit has done so well, because our sheriffs have really dedicated themselves to the people of Fresno County, and it shows.
Outstanding. Johnny, what do you think? What future? You're still there. You got some time to go. What do you think about the future, and what do you see happening out here ahead of us?
Well, I know what's going to happen is I feel like we're going to continue on that same path as far as developing our young guys to kind of make everyone a better pilot as far as time-wise and experience-wise, mountain-wise. What I'd like to happen is that we expand the unit as far as personnel. And I think we get more guys in the unit, we're going to get that coverage. Because, you probably heard it, like, well, you guys are never available. Like, well, we're available. It's just there's only so many of us. We can have so many shifts.
Right.
It's like, so like if we, so hopefully we can expand the unit personnel-wise, and then expand the unit, our capabilities, a bigger helicopter, H-125, to do the hoisting. It's like,
sure.
I got 6-7 years to go, and like I'd love to get some hoisting in before I retire, because like Mike, when I retire, I think I'm done flying. It's kind of just want to enjoy life, and just, but yeah, so more personnel, maybe a bigger helicopter. It's like we give the Fresno County this great product, but like if they only knew we can give them a better product, like I think everybody would say like, hey, you want $5 or do you want 10? Like I'll take the 10.
Sure.
Sure. I'm not saying we're shortchanging them, but in a way that we could give them a better product.
Yeah. John, as we start wrapping things here before they kick us out of here, and they will likely. I'm thinking that the old Dandy Don Meredith singing the lights are out, the party's over, is going through my head. Any final thoughts or comments for these guys?
Couple. Last year we were doing this with the Kings County guys. People vacuuming around us.
It was.
It's like, hey, it's time to get out of here. That's like, but yeah, we talk about a lot in the podcast how we are where we are because of those that came before us. We talk about standing on the shoulders of giants, and as we've talked, you've talked about those giants that came before you, and you're that giant now. Literally and figuratively, that he gets to stand on the shoulders of now, and the next generation, and so on and so on. The culture you guys have created within your unit is what stands out to me. That culture is what has allowed that success that you talk about. So, I think as a mentor, our goal is to leave it better than we found it.
Yeah.
And you guys have figured out a way to do that with each generation. So it's really cool to hear you talk about that, to see and hear the passion that goes with what you're describing. Congratulations on a successful career.
Thanks.
You found the magic recipe. Not a lot of folks don't get that opportunity. So congratulations on retirement. Thank you for what you've done for the community, for the citizens you work for our public safety aviation community. That passion is infectious. and all the folks that are listening today are, there's some passion that's going to be imparted on them.
Yeah.
And they're going to go out and I need to try harder, So thank you for all you've done. It's been an honor to sit here and talk to you about your career over the last couple hours. Thank you for joining. I'm thankful that we did make this conversation happen. Like I said, we talked about it a while back, and so honored. Thank you guys. Congratulations.
Thanks.
And
appreciate it likewise.
Yeah. We have an appointment with Captain Flair today.
Yeah, we do.
That's right.
So I won't say too much, although when people hear this, it'll be out
I'll
by
already
then.
know.
Yeah.
But so I'll just finish it up and thank you both again for joining us. Mike, you set the bar high, and I think Johnny right here is one of those people he's obviously striving for that bar, and that I admire that too. But you set the bar very high. This is a well-deserved recognition for you.
I appreciate that very much.
I mean, I knew that when I read about you, and I had heard about you through others. But I'm even more convinced now. I'm really impressed, and it's you've done great things for Fresno County, for not just the citizens, but for the deputies and for all those people you saved. I mean, that's probably the most important thing. There's people at home tonight that are there because of people like you, and specifically you, that you dedicated from, charter member 97, retired 2025. That's incredible. So I just want to say to you, congratulations on the award. Congratulations on retirement. Enjoy every second of it.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate it. I appreciate it, man.
Congratulations.
Appreciate it.
Johnny, thank you.
Thank you
Very much for being with us.
Thanks for having us. Appreciate it.
So from APSCON 2025 here in Phoenix, Arizona, we're going to sign off here and we're alone in here except for the cleaning crew.
Just some tumbleweeds going through.
Yeah, some tumbleweeds. But for all our listeners, thank you for listening. We really appreciate it. We love having guests like this because we learn a lot, and it was really, really enjoyable. So with that, everybody stay safe, and we'll catch you the next time on the Hangar Z podcast.
Thanks for joining us for this episode of the Hangar Z podcast. Don't forget to like and subscribe to hear more stories that promote the personnel and equipment behind the missions in public safety aviation. Lastly, stand by for a message after a word from our sponsors. Cheers.
Thank you to our sponsor, CNC Technologies. CNC Technologies, serving law enforcement, government, and military markets with tailored mission solutions, system training, and live 24/7 support with CNC.live platform. Explore more at cnctechnologies.com.
Thank you to our sponsor, Metro Aviation. Metro Aviation, the world's largest family-owned aeromedical operator, offers comprehensive aircraft services with 160-plus aircraft in over 25 states. The Completion Center installs medical and law enforcement kits and avionics, serving diverse aviation needs including offshore, utility, VIP, and corporate sectors.
Thank you to our sponsor, SpectroLab. SpectroLab, a pioneer and world-leading supplier of high-intensity searchlights for all para-public operations. Visit www.spectrolab.com to learn more about our third-generation Night Sun series high-intensity searchlight. When reliability and performance is critical to your mission, count on SpectroLab Night Sun searchlights.
That wraps up this episode of the Hangar Z podcast. A huge thank you to our guests, Deputy Pilot Mike Sill and Deputy Pilot Johnny Reyes from the Fresno County Sheriff's Office Air Support Unit, for taking the time to join us here at APSCON 2025 in Phoenix. It was fascinating to hear about the evolution of the Fresno County Air Support Unit directly from one of its charter members. With a combined 45 years of flight experience, Mike and Johnny brought incredible insight to the table, sharing stories of high-altitude rescues, life-saving missions, and the dedication it takes to fly in some of California's toughest conditions. In Mike's words, there are pilots, and then there are mountain pilots. Johnny's reflection on Mike's mentorship really stood out, showing just how important it is to build the next generation of air support professionals through guidance and example. To our listeners, thank you for tuning in and supporting the show. If you've enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe, leave us a review, and share it with your friends in public safety aviation and in law enforcement in general. Stay safe, and we'll catch you the next time on the Hangar Z podcast.